out.
One way
One
out.
way out.
One
Way out.
One way out.
Way out.
Way out.
Way out.
Welcome back to On the Nets. We are here to talk about another goated ep of Andor, episode 10, One Way Out.
Jesus Christ, talk about
goated
of the goated.
I'm here with Levi. Mike from Jedi Jive is popping in a second.
I think
we'll
today,
get the show
hopefully,
on the road.
if we got some people, we can pull in the
And yes, and if people want to talk, we'll absolutely pull them in. So stay tuned for that. But I guess as we're waiting for Mike here, we'll get the show on the road. So Levi, I mean, we were talking a little bit before, but what do we think about this app? I mean, I know the thoughts. I know the thoughts, but
I think
give them again.
Hashtag Domino's Dylan.
Right. Right. That.
I don't know. I think this is probably one of the best episodes of Star Wars television out there.
You're telling me.
It's so fucking good. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, every week,
me.
it was the same problem when we were reviewing House of the Dragon. Like, I could only say good things about the show because I
wasn't there for that.
Because I don't think there's a thing that I don't like.
Here he is.
Oh, we got Mike. Mike.
Friend of the show, guess, day oneer. Mike Jedi Jive.
Mike Jedi Jive.
What's up?
How are you, buddy?
Overlay on.
Man.
Now we can, here we get the overlay going. How we doing?
Lavelle, you've only seen 2 episodes? Oh my god. This guy. Aye.
Right. But we literally just started, so you didn't miss much. But Levi was talking about the ep a bit, but we'll get to you next. But Levi, yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Oh, if anything, I think Mike should go. I think that
you're on Mike to go. All right, Mike.
I know that I like Star Wars.
Thoughts on the ep.
Well, definitely an awesome ep. It's definitely like the end of the 3-episode arc. So like, I think of it as the arc and not just the ep.
Absolutely.
But I love the arc in general. And unfortunately, Jenny wasn't able to come do a reaction with me this morning because I am COVID positive.
Oh no! You're the COVID train. I was a couple weeks ago, so I feel your position.
It was not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. I get it.
I was out of work for like 4 days. It was.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wish Jenny had been there because I feel like it would have been a really good. It's a good episode to discuss things. So I'm happy.
You feeling okay though?
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here either way. Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to you guys.
Yes.
Because I didn't get to talk to Jenny.
Yeah. Lay it on us. Give us the thoughts here.
Well, I mean, obviously, there was a couple of really heady scenes. Namely the one with Mon Mothma and Dallas Golden, and that with the arranged marriage situation.
Oh my god,
ooh, that got real. Wow,
because that was interesting.
I watched back at my reaction and I go like, oh, I go like that really quick, like, oh, I get it. What he's playing at. And then Luthen's monologue towards the end of the episode was like, I was like, hands down, best monologue of the season so far. Like, just
it was great.
The acting, but like the way it was written, like the way that they worded all of the things he said was just so powerful.
Yeah.
And then speaking of powerful, like the prison break in general was like pretty like straightforward, like it happened the way you thought it would happen, but I thought they framed it in a very like inspirational way. It felt very like
huzzah! Yeah.
At the same time, everyone, like half the people on that table he was with, just gets killed unceremoniously.
Yeah,
there were dudes getting taken out.
Yeah. We started off the show chanting "One Way Out," so we're in the mood.
Like the whole crux of their escape.
I know the new guy,
and he like did his job and then promptly got shot.
He was the first to get shot too.
Yeah.
Right? I think. Yeah. Brutal. The show was not shied away from just like having just people just die.
They didn't
like,
show
that's
whether or not Andy Serkis's character jumps or not.
That's the thing. That's what that's what I was talking about, Levi, for the show here, and he can't leave.
Swim, and it's like you can now, motherfucker. Like you go.
I think he's dead. I think he's.
I think he can't leave. He can't swim. So what he's gonna do?
I think the theme of the episode, overwhelmingly, is about sacrifice. Johnny, yeah, you keep messing with that. The theme of the episode is overwhelmingly about sacrifice. And you know, Kino, the character, does exactly what Luthen's speech is all about. Like, he fights for the sunrise he'll never see, and he gets to the end. He frees all these people, but it's not. He can't. He just can't do it. Like, and the same thing with Mon Mothma. Like when she was talking to Vel last week. Like Vel tells her the same line that Cinta told her. Like we got to take what's left, and are you willing to pimp out your daughter for the rebellion? Like that's a pretty that's a big sacrifice to just sacrifice her whole family. I mean, she already hates her husband. She clearly has a tenuous relationship with her daughter, but to really just cut off her entire immediate family for this cause, like this whole episode was about sacrifice, and it was a tough one. I mean, it was
very much so,
Lonnie
especially Luthen at the end. Yeah,
that Lonnie character who is like, oh my god, he's a mole. Like you never even realized like in his sacrifice to, like what?
Yeah. That was like kind of teased in the trailers, right?
Yeah, it was kind of.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't teased in the trailers. They accidentally a couple weeks ago put out a TV spot with a shot from.
Showed it, yeah.
So for the last couple weeks, we've known that he was. It's okay. Continue your point.
But anyways, yeah.
I noticed that there was like what, maybe 30 seconds of Ferrex in this episode, and it was like to briefly show Cinta like spying on the side, like waiting for maybe Cassian to return to Ferrex because she still wants to kill him, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's lots of little storylines going in tandem that are like, you can't forget about that. Like she's still there. That's
Well, what I'm worried about, if we're just jumping ahead to, I mean, that's only like you said, like a 5-second scene, but the scene with Cinta watching doctors going to Marva, and Marva seems to be her health deteriorating, and I'm worried that Cinta's gonna like try and kill Marva in order to bring Cassian back.
That's a good point. Yeah, but who was that other guy that they showed watching Cinta?
I know. I was like, I recognize the face, but I couldn't put it. I think it's one of the. I feel like it's an Imperial guy.
One of the that's what I think too.
I'm not confident though. I'm not confident.
Yeah, but now that this Lonnie guy is like a undercover mole, and like Cinta is like a good guy who's trying to kill the good guys now, like it's like good guys are bad guys are good guys. Like it's just
the show deals with the gray line, which I really think is interesting. Absolutely,
for everyone. More
or
less.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so much to like in this episode. But I mean overall as an arc, how did you feel about this, Mike?
I liked it. At first, the first episode of the Prison Break, it was very like, this feels a lot like Squid Game or something, where it was very I don't know if you guys discussed any of this in your previous last conversations you had, but it had kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Fortress with Christopher Lambert. Have you ever seen that movie? No. Oh, they stole a lot of themes from that were like the exact, like right down to like, they have intestinators in them when they step outside the line. It's been
good from the start, Chad. Sorry, Mike. Yeah,
there were a lot of things that like prison scenes. You've seen that kind of scenario before in lots of movies. Is the point, like a prison?
Fair enough.
Like our prisoners joining together to try and like survive whatever. Like Squid Game is like that, where it's like their group has the old man in it that's like slowing them down, kind of thing, and there was that too, and.
Poor Olaf. This episode started with just a shot of his dead body.
That was the first shot. Being zipped in a body bag. So I was like, oh, that's how we're doing the episode. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even that was like a sacrifice in itself. He's sacrificed himself to this. Well, forcefully sacrificed, but nonetheless sacrificed himself.
His opening, his death gave the opening for the new man to come in. And Chad, just because it was your birthday the other day, which publicly, happy birthday from all the
nerds.
We said, but just because it was your birthday the other day doesn't mean you get to have a crazy take like this. Yeah, finally had a good episode.
Finally.
Chad. Come on and talk about it later in the show. We love the Chad takes on Andor.
I love that. Yeah.
They definitely left it up in the air about what the parts they were building were, but I still think it's got to be Death Star.
I think it's Death Star too.
I think it was Death Star. Yeah,
it could just be like joints to the beams to the Death Star. Which
that's what I was thinking.
Millions of them.
Yeah, that's why you have to build. Yeah, so many. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what. I don't think they would have alluded to the parts at all if. Like they could have just done the whole Prison Break without that specific like line of dialogue being like, well, "This is something that's really important." And I was like,
important.
I was like, okay, like I think it's probably
lines up in the timeline and everything. It just
it's like, probably
Death
Star.
Yeah.
So what was your guys' like favorite shot or scene from this episode?
Well, I do remember seeing the like at when they're escaping and it's the overhead of the pentagonal like
that's a great
symbol,
one.
and it's like, wow, that was a really cool shot. And then every time it's on Coruscant, like it was just the elevator shot of Lonnie coming down in the elevator, like, and I was like, Coruscant, love it. Like every time they show Coruscant, it just looks like it's right out of the prequels, or
It's beautiful.
It's got like movie quality budget CGI on it and everything.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just for a couple second shot, and I'm loving that.
Yeah. It's good to be. The Coruscant comeback is here, and I'm very very happy about it because it's been a long time coming.
I'm personally a fan of, my favorite shot was when, everyone's chanting One Way Out, but it's from inside the closet with all the guards like
and
locked in the closet,
and they're like,
and they're like, it's so awesome. Like that is such a
good.
great.
Yeah,
just that singular shot, that frame tells such a story. Like you see the warden guy like on the ground, like huddled, and he's like, don't say it. Like I love that. That's just everything about the show.
They knew they wouldn't win. I mean, like now 5,000 prisoners are like armed. So what are they gonna do? They know they're outnumbered.
But the tension as well. The
Mm.
tension during Lonnie going to meet, like what Mike was saying on Coruscant, like when he gets in the elevator,
Yes,
and he's, like typing the numbers.
It keeps shaking too. It's flickering.
Like, oh my god! I didn't know what was gonna happen. Obviously, Luthen ends up delivering this like a crazy speech monologue. That's, awesome. But I didn't know if he I thought he was maybe gonna kill him right there.
That's what I thought.
I didn't know. Like
kill him.
I was for a second thinking that, but I was like, no, he's such a high value, like high value to the movement that I was like,
I loved that he pointed out that Lonnie was more valuable to him than 50 men.
50 men, yeah.
We talked about that last week. So something that we talked about last week, I had brought up how the ISB meeting, and I made the Krieger connection about Anto Krieger, and how I was like, I wonder, Luthen wasn't in last episode, but I wonder if Luthen is sacrificing these guys. And this episode, sure enough, he was like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
I don't.
They can die.
You, I need.
Which is nuts. Like it's so refreshing to have a show in Star Wars, and not the other shows are bad in this department, but Star Wars, and it's an original trilogy thing.
Yeah,
it just has a very particular way of dialogue that it doesn't lend itself to these kinds of interactions.
Yeah,
and when it's this like pointed and direct and in depth and gritty, it's
every line has a purpose, which I think is too, because a lot of times it's like, every shot has to be purposeful, but I feel like every line has like meaning in itself, like double meanings and stuff you can really analyze into.
When they're specifically like speaking between the lines of each other to like not like be quite so direct, like yes, we're seeking alternative funding routines.
Yeah.
And she's literally
that scene. Let's talk about. I really want to talk about the Mon Mothma stuff actually a little bit, because that was probably some of my favorite moments of the whole ep. But yeah, like, oh my god, like you can see how just uncomfortable she is from the get go when he enters the room.
Well, you can see how uncomfortable she was when the guy just mentioned Davos Golden's name in the previous.
Yeah. Like it kind of, a pit in her stomach. Yeah. It was
having to sell her daughter out to that guy.
And she's considering it.
Yeah. Well, she acted tough, like she was.
Yeah, like she wasn't. But then, he had a great line, which was like, he's like, that's the first untrue thing you said all day, or something like that. Yeah, that was so good, and he's right. I mean, it holds on Mom Mothma, like the last shot. It just holds on her face, and you can see her being like, damn, he's kind of right.
Yeah, and again, there's little tiny details that they they seem erroneous, but I love them. Like when she mentions the like, oh yeah, there's a set of rules for like how much we're allowed to change the decor in here, and I'm like, that's the exact same thing as the White House. This is the White House. This is like, she's a politician and she's in the politician's mansion that's provided for her. She's allowed to change a few things.
Well, I on rewatch, I didn't put it together because I rewatched some of the episodes before this one came out, because this was like a finale episode, so I wanted to rewatch, and I didn't pick up on before my first watch through that. Yeah, we're not actually at Mom Mothma's house. That's the Chandrillan embassy, and she's living at the embassy, and that's why it's like it's state property. It's Chandrillan property on Coruscant, and they call it like, that's why it's Perrin's embassy punch at the party, and it's all, they keep talking about the embassy, and like she, like when Vel arrives, the driver's like, oh, she's at the embassy. I was like, okay, that is like, I see, that's where she lives, because she's like, she's a diplomat, she's a foreign diplomat essentially. And that's like, ambassadors live at the embassy, in the real world, like that's where they live. So that makes sense. Like, it's not technically her house. Like, her house and all her wealth is on Chandrilla still. But yeah, you're right. The point you were making is still true, and I love. It's essentially the same concept.
Yeah.
But I just love like how like the minutia of like they're paying attention to so many of the little things down to the production design and making it all feel like it's living in this world. And I can't get over this show, Mike. We haven't been able to talk about it yet. I think this is like, to me, this is like one of the best Star Wars things, period. It's like
take another level, man.
I
think this is one of the better shows of the year, period. Not just Star Wars.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for saying that? There's a lot of, this would be a good show. I think Johnny's muted.
Johnny, you're muted. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That better?
Yeah, there he is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wholly agree. Like, this show, yeah, Levi, I totally agree. It's like one of the best Star Wars things. Definitely the best Star Wars show, in my opinion. It's doing something so different, but like it's like it presents it in a way that like I kind of forgot like Star Wars could be like this. It's much more of a brutal take though.
Star Wars hasn't been this way.
I know.
Not on screen anyway. Not on live action screen. Not really. I don't think so.
Wait,
it's a weird thing.
Season 2 is in production, or is it already?
Yeah,
it's in production.
It's in production. Okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's already like a season 2, like ready to go, like,
and this is where we can start to see
just like a setup season for what's probably even better next season.
Absolutely,
like,
and this is where we can possibly start to. Oh, I'm actually sorry, not possibly. We're definitely going to see some more familiar faces as we get closer to the timeline of Rogue One.
Yes.
So we're bound to run into some more Rebel sect.
You're gonna get some Tarkin.
Tarkin, most likely. Krennic for sure.
Krennic, I was about to say Ben Mendelsohn.
Krennic for sure.
Would be a great cameo.
I was even thinking. I mean, we've been talking about the potential of Rebels crew, which is very likely. I think. I
mean, Vader's not off the.
Vader's not off the table.
Especially now since they have this whole like James Earl Jones Palpatine. They can just make Vader speak now at will.
That's true. Kind of weird, but true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I mean,
Palpatine. Yeah. Oh my God, yes, Palpatine. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, there could be like a whole bunch of other things too. Like you could have.
Book of Boba Fett is a better show. Oh my God. Okay.
Well,
I'm not even gonna respond to that.
A couple of highlight episodes in there. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but I don't think it holds a candle to.
I don't agree. I don't agree, but like
I don't agree.
I've definitely rewatched Andor
I love Book of
a bunch of times now. All the episodes I've rewatched them a couple of times.
Yeah.
And Book of Boba Fett, I really only rewatched episodes 5 and 6.
Fair enough. 4 is good too.
And I haven't rewatched Obi-Wan Kenobi at all.
Don't underestimate 4. That's where Mando's building the. And 2 is good.
Yes.
1 and 3. 1 and 3. Unfortunately, I want to really get into it. Or the
Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think, because I haven't rewatched Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I gotta think of my ranking.
Anyway, I'd like to talk more about it.
Anyways,
I did notice in this episode too, there were multiple times when Cassian said the philosophy that Luthen first said to him, which was like the whole, wouldn't you rather take some of these people out, like die fighting these bastards than helping them basically? You'd rather die fighting them, yeah. So Cassian said that line to Kino. And then Kino eventually said it to everyone else through the intercom. Yeah,
which is great.
So Luthen's philosophy is like starting to spread now.
Yeah, that whole scene in the control room where he's kind of hyping himself up to deliver the speech, and Andor's like pushing him. Just how that scene all played out was just
I
so.
love that. The voice,
so good.
The guy behind the microphone is just like this little twerpy dude.
Yeah,
like, that's such a.
They use the voice modulator, so it's like it makes it sound more ominous than it actually is.
I don't think.
I think it's representing the whole prison.
The little cylindrical microphone setup thing looked exactly like the one that Han shoots off in the cell bay in New Hope.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
I don't know if they've shown that in other Star Wars before, like that similar mic setup, but it reminded me of that.
No, I think it was supposed to be. Yeah, definitely gave me that vibe too. But oh man, Andy Serkis killed this episode too. I mean, like this was probably his best episode. Not that he's had a bad one, but
a couple of moments when I was like, this is dangerously like I'm hearing Snoke.
Yeah.
especially with the mic. Yeah, when he's doing the.
But you know what? I don't care really about
certain grizzle of snow. Kind of funny though. kind of funny.
That's
I
why he
liked
stays
him
behind.
better as Kino than as Snoke.
I did
He,
too.
he
I did
stays
too.
behind and becomes Snoke. That's what.
Yeah. That's a fan theory that's probably gonna be out there.
That's
Kind of funny. Yeah, the mixing Kino and
This is
Palpatine's
actually a
blood,
Snoke origin
and
story.
then make yeah. That would be insane.
So that's the real twist.
That's the real twist of it all. Yeah, exactly. But I hope not. Anyways, but
Do you
I
guys think
gotta
that
think
both-
more. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that both Marva and Bix are gonna die in the next 2 episodes? I think they're both gonna die.
Marva, I think it like
Marva,
kind of
yes.
has to at this point for the
Do you
story.
think Bix will be saved and then used in
Yeah.
season 2?
I think Bix is fine.
I don't know. I don't know
think
if she'll make it out of the show as a whole.
The reason
she'll
I
make it
think
in
she's
season
gonna
two.
die probably is because Cassian doesn't have a like romantic tie to her in Rogue One, and he doesn't really have one to Jyn Erso either. It's
True.
not meant, but like here it is implied that he has a romantic past with Bix and that he still cares about her.
Yeah.
Because they had that scene where the droid, whatever they mentioned like all of his girlfriends or something, like
Yeah.
in terms of all the people that could be like the one that ratted him out or whatever
Mhm.
when Marva was
Mhm.
questioning it, and then like they implied that Bix was different than the other girlfriends, like that she was like an actual girlfriend, not just like a notch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
don't
So
know
it would
either.
make sense for her to die, to have him like if his mother and his favorite girlfriend die, then he's gonna be super pissed. And
Well,
also, his sister has never been mentioned again since the like first couple episodes when it was
That's
like
it.
No, they mentioned her again
they did.
When?
in 7. What in episode 7? Marva says, "Stop looking for your sister.
Oh,
You're not.
Oh,
you're not
sure.
gonna find
you're
her."
right. You're right.
And he's like,
If
And he's-
anything, that's an implication that we are gonna find her and that she's coming.
"Yeah, no, but they picked up on that thread." Marva's like, "You got to stop. Like, you couldn't have stopped what happened on Kanari. There were no survivors but you." Because he
Yeah.
hasn't seen her since those flashbacks.
I
You
had
know,
some
that-
people commenting on my wall being like, "Oh, they think Dedra Miro is actually his long lost sister." Like, I'm like, No,
I don't
No.
think that's the case.
No.
But
I would not agree.
but as Chad is saying in the chat, it has been reported that Adriana Arjona is in season 2. So I do think that the character I think the
I think
character
so,
will die
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I think she'll die in season 2. I just
In
don't think
season
she'll
2.
die. yet.
Adriana, is that the actress that played the little girl?
Oh no, Bix.
No, Bix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think she'll make it for a while. I think she will die eventually. But I think Marva is. I think she's done next episode. quite
Because
frankly.
the whole Cinta thing is going to be a problem too. And like at first it seemed like what was her name? The blonde girl. Vel was going to possibly be the one to get in between there, but now Vel seems like she's separated and Cinta's still on Ferrex, like waiting to pounce.
Mhm.
So Bix might die at the hand of Cinta for all you know, defending Cassian.
maybe.
Kind
I
of
think-
Could
thing,
be.
you know.
Could be.
Like
Either
it's, it's not just Empire killing Rebellion and Rebellion killing Empire. It's like everybody's in danger of being screwed over by someone.
So
Yeah.
in terms of stuff we have left, we know we have the Ferrex rebellion left. We've seen that in the trailers. People fighting on Ferrex, and I think that'll likely be incited by Marva's death. I think Marva dying will drive people to fight. We know there's a shot from the trailer of Luthen's ship, the Fondor, like with the lasers coming out of the side of it, fighting the TIE fighters and stuff. So we gotta see that still.
Yep.
We have more Saw Gerrera when he's like,
Yeah.
let's go. Whoa.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
we
Saw
gotta do-
in
we
the
gotta do
they
that stuff.
they included the Saw scene in the recap. So I thought he was gonna come back in this ep, but he ended up not. But-
Well, there's
I-
more footage of him in
I-
the trailer. So.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, he'll be in the last arc, obviously. So
This whole Krieger,
Yeah.
what's his name? And
Anto Krieger.
Anto Krieger. Yeah, this
Krieger.
whole setup that they did with the ship to try and draw him in. And
Mhm.
I think
now
that's
we
gonna
know
come
that
out, yeah.
the mole guy who is the guy that suggested that they go and just act normally or whatever, but he's actually
yeah, for the Empire to go in and respond to it. Yeah, that was.
And
helps
his intention was to like tell Luthen to like warn off Anto Krieger, like tell them
Yeah.
to not go because our Empire people are gonna.
I loved Luthen's response to it though, and because he was like
Like good.
he's
good.
like let them
yeah.
let them think they're winning right now. Like it's
Yeah.
they're wasting time. You know,
Well, because also on top of that,
this
you
works
know,
for me.
he thinks that he has this big information of, oh, they know that your access, like in his mind, he's putting together like it's I gotta save Luthen. I gotta save Luthen. But the way the Luthen is, he plays it so cool. He's like, that's not me. Like I don't do that. We don't do that. And I think he really convinces him that he's not Axis. He's not the guy. Even throwing him off the scent more. So I guess I should have thought about that when Luthen's not gonna. I think Luthen would have killed this guy. Like I think that's within Luthen's character. But I think sending him back to the ISB with it in his head that Luthen is not Axis, is not the guy they're looking for, is even more valuable to him than anything else. And putting that thought.
Oh yeah, I thought that was like super like chess. Like
yeah, he's playing 4D chess.
Like his own, he's lying to his own mole.
Yeah, about him.
Like, yeah.
His own mole, like, who's trying to save him. He lies to him to say that it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a lot of.
Yeah, there's layers.
There.
Onion.
Layers there.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I gotta think. Yeah, just all the seeing all the other floors and stuff.
That
just start to.
That Lonnie guy could potentially
stuff.
come back to be like the only person that could like legitimately threaten Luthen though, because of all of that. Like,
he does have.
He implied that he has a father, leverage. He has a family that he wants out, and Luthen was basically just like, "You're screwed.
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do. You're stuck." So it's kind of like that guy might, at some point. Maybe
do you think he'll try to go out? Yeah, I don't know.
Because right now Luthen seems like the only guy that's like 3 steps ahead of everyone.
I feel like Luthen established
at some point he has
power over him though.
He's got to have his weak point exposed, and that guy.
I think that was his attempt though, and I don't know if he'll do it again. He could. I don't know.
I mean, it begs the question though. We're watching how Luthen Rail, this guy, is so vital clearly to the very early rebellion. Like, what happens to him? Because he's not around. You know, he clearly doesn't make it all the way. Whether he is forced to leave the rebellion and sort of like retire, or he's killed, which I think is more likely. I mean, where do we think his story goes? Because obviously it's Mon Mothma who becomes the head of the rebellion. It's not Luthen Rail.
Yeah, I mean, he could always end up in prison too. You never know, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he'll lose at some point. I don't think it'll be now.
Yeah,
I think something will come back to bite him, and I think that's what we'll see eventually.
I mean, I think
not anytime soon. I don't think, but
I think potentially it could be in the long run, Mon Mothma or Saw Gerrera, like another rebel taking him down, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not seeing it until Friday, Dimes, but I am excited for Black Panther.
Seeing it tomorrow.
Good for you.
Okay.
I'm excited for
it. Okay.
But I do see a situation where it's maybe Mon Mothma who puts Luthen in a situation like she has to make this call where she puts one of her greatest allies and oldest allies, but in a situation where he gets taken out, like if he's like a liability or something, or just like there needs to be, because clearly the rebellion is moving in two very different directions right now. Yeah. Like there's this side with Mon Mothma who's trying to do it through like charity and outreach, and even if Vela's more on her side, but she's still trying to save some of her dignity. She doesn't want to become like Luthen. She doesn't want to be that way. And there's Luthen on the other hand. She's like, I don't care about my life or anyone's life. I am just doing. The ends justify.
He's accepted. Yeah.
All of the means. It's like Saw Gerrera. The ends justify all the means. And Star Wars has repeatedly laid out anyway, thematically, like what happens in Saw Gerrera and Rogue One, that if you take that path in this, in the context of a galaxy where there's a force and light side and dark side, like that destroys you. Like doing that ends justify the mean stuff, it totally wipes you out. And even if you do accomplish some good things, you as a person are destroyed. Whereas Mon Mothma is able to maintain that light. And in the real world, that you can have a different conversation about it. But in the context of Star Wars and like the morality tale, I don't know. Like Luthen is going to end up in a kind of a bad place. And Skarsgård I think is in season 2. So I'm not implying that he died by the end of this season. I think he's got to make it to.
No, I do think the finale stuff on some of the characters will be in season 2.
Yeah,
I don't
be surprised to see a character like Saw Gerrera kill him or something like that, or one of those even maybe one of his own men, Mon Mothma, that Lonnie guy.
I think maybe Clea, his assistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe she's like you gone too far this time, and she just tries to stop him.
Yeah.
Herself,
This episode definitely showed her being like, I don't like this.
She's starting to be like, this is too much. This is you're getting to a No, I definitely they're planting the seeds, so I could see that happening too. But Oh man, obviously everything with the prison was just it was so good. It was so good. Watching the whole plan, like being like when it first started, when the lift was going down and like Andor was breaking the pipe, I was like, break it faster.
Yeah, no, I was
Like,
never so excited to watch someone burst a pipe.
Yeah, burst a pipe. I was like,
Sometimes it seems like Cassian is just like trying to like stay on the floor as long as possible.
Yes.
Before but like he's always stepping off of it like at the last second.
Yeah.
Like, he has a great sense of dramatic timing.
Yeah. Like look, even when it was earlier in the ep when he was like talking to he was talking to everybody, but he was standing in the hallway and it was like we're gonna keep the floors hot and we're not without warning, and then he just like casually just like steps off the second before they go on. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I gotta shout out the whole conversation. Obviously, it's the writing, but when it's the very beginning of the episode, he's yelling at Kino, and Kino's like, "They have power." Andor's saying they're afraid, and Andor has that line where he says, "Power doesn't flinch," and I was like, "Oh,
power doesn't panic." He said,
"Panic."
Power doesn't panic. Yeah.
I was like,
same thing though. But yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the way
so many good lines.
All of it was just so good. But hey, we're about half an hour in here, and we got a couple people in the chat who I know want to share their opinions. So
we'll throw some people in here. But
drop the link.
Any like major moments we missed that we can think of,
I don't
guys?
know. I mean, it was only the one Mon Mothma scene to my memory.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then
one Ferric scene,
one
Ferric
Ferric
Mothma scene, and one brief Partagaz.
Everything was so
Partagaz looking spiffy in his
super
coat.
sharp in that jacket.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
He was looking very nice as he walked.
Well, Dedra had the same coat, so it's like a
Yeah, she had another.
I love that whole vibe before they had.
It's supposed to be like a raincoat, though, right?
They had like the screen up. I love that. It looks.
I mentioned that in my reaction because it's like
very Death Star.
Yes, very Death Star, but it's like it's a big monitor, but it was kind of in that like overhead projector
vibe.
Yeah, it had that 70s kind of like it would be like a transparency projector. Yeah. And I'm like, I love how they blend the old and the new technology. That really helps tie in the original trilogy feel.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that.
Love it. But here's we'll put in the link in the chat now. Anybody who wants to pop in, talk a little bit about Andor, feel free.
Andor.
But we'll continue here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, just overall, I know I've said and I'll say it again. This show has just been like consistently, like I've never been like, oh, I didn't like that. Like I've liked, I think pretty much everything in this whole show.
Yeah, honestly,
I can't really say that I've had
Luna
complaints.
Has been kind of just like right in the middle. Like he hasn't really been the star of the show that much, really. His acting is okay. It's not bad, but it's like I'm noticing the other characters more than him, honestly.
I like that he shares a screen though. I think with Mon Mothma. I mean, I remember not to rub it in. I'm sorry, but when we were at Celebration, we kind of found out a little more about Mon Mothma and how involved in the show she is, and just hearing about that, we got so excited, and we just like obviously our minds are going crazy, but with that.
Here waiting in the wings is Andor hot take haver.
Andor hot take. Okay, here we go.
Recent birthday extravaganza.
It was last week.
Chad.
Last week extravaganza.
I said
how you doing, Chad?
And it's true. I'm doing good. I've been playing Halo. Got the new Halo update, so slaying away on that. So, but yeah.
Very cool.
It's definitely a lot better than this Andor show, though. So,
he gave us a little sneak peek in the chat, but
have you been following?
You said you actually liked this episode.
Yeah, this is the best episode they've had out of 12. Out of the 10 episodes.
Well, out of the 10, yeah, out of the 10.
This is the best one, and the rest of them are trash.
Oh my god! Come on, trash.
Yeah, they were just garbage. It took too long. It took too long.
Took too long.
It took too long. If on the 10th episode you made me go, all right, this is a good episode, not a good show.
Oh my god. Well, you're talking to three.
I love this take though.
From start to finish, loving
honest.
Andor. But
I know I love it. The honesty.
I'm not shaming you on it. It's just it's a tough one for me to swallow though.
This show, there was like nothing like prior to this episode that was like, oh, this is good, and then this episode didn't happen. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But
okay, sure.
I love Mando and Book of Boba Fett way better than this show.
All right.
But not Obi-Wan though. Obi-Wan. Not Obi-Wan.
That's so interesting.
Chad with the takes.
That's so interesting. So you like Book of Boba Fett more than Kenobi?
Yes, yeah. Book of Boba Fett was great. I rewatched it for Levi
I also
a
like
couple
Book
weeks
of
ago,
Boba.
and I was like, "This is a great show,
Thank
hands
you,
down,
Chad.
way,
It's for
way
me.
better than."
It's pretty
than
bad at some
Andor.
points, but okay.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
It isn't. If you turn off your brain and have fun, it's a great
Yes.
show.
Chad.
Well,
I'm so happy, Chad, that we've come to my side on the Book of Boba. We can agree to disagree on Andor, but the Book of Boba slander, I can't
Yeah.
stand it. It's so good.
you're taking the Andor slander though.
I'll take Andor. I will take
you-
Andor
you-
slander to support Book of Boba.
Andor's
that's
amazing.
it.
Yeah,
That's a bad take in itself. Ay,
Well, I
ay,
love
ay.
Andor. Yeah, you can't.
Ay, ay, ay.
You're talking to
fair.
a
Who is your allegiance to?
you're talking to a
You
Rise of
can't keep
Skywalker.
flip-flopping. I know.
yeah,
I know
that's
who I'm
me
talking
too.
about.
I know. A couple of Tross likers.
Trust.
Ay, ay, but
See, that's why I don't like Andor, because I like Tross.
okay.
I also like Attack of Clones, best prequel movie though. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you got Johnny. Now Johnny.
You got me on your side.
Now
Okay.
That's-
Now you got me on your
He's a
side.
man of the people. He's a man of the
He's a
people.
man. He,
All right.
a little bit dipping into every little
Talking about
pocket.
Anyway.
Anyways,
though,
Anyway,
how did
good
how did
episode.
this episode? Yeah, how did this episode
Yeah.
hit you? Like, tell me your, give us your.
why did you like it
Yeah,
compared
why did
to
you like the?
Compared to the rest,
everything else?
so shit actually happened in this one compared to the rest.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to elaborate on that, or is that all?
It's been dragging along, and like every episode before
Okay.
this was just like, all right, let's do this. Like it started off like on fire, right? It started off pretty good,
Sure.
and then all the Kino stuff. Andy, you can't diss the man Andy Serkis.
You can't.
He's great at
I
everything.
mean,
he
you were,
does.
but
I mean, you did. You said the other.
I mean, he stole the show. Like once he showed up, anyway. I love Andy Serkis. I'm a Lord of the Rings guy.
Yeah.
I love him.
So many. He's in so
Anytime.
many little. different-
He's in everything.
He's in
so
every
many little things like
what
like
isn't
Black
Andy
Panther
Serkis?
and
I love
Lord of the
him.
Rings.
I
Age of
love him.
Ultron.
I love him in Black
forget.
Panther. I love his Marvel character. His Marvel character is hilarious.
Oh,
whatever.
King Kong. You made a small indie film.
Mm,
Oh yeah, that too.
Planet of the Apes.
anyway.
Planet of the Apes too. Oh man,
Oh yeah, he's in everything. I'm telling you, he's Alfred. He's
Alfred?
It is Alfred.
He's
Oh, I
freaking
forgot about
Alfred
that.
and the Batman.
Kind of
Great
a
movie
weak
too.
Alfred.
But I know.
I don't think he was weak. I didn't think he got enough screen time.
Yeah, he needed more screen time in that movie.
Yeah, that's what that movie needed. It needed to be
I
longer.
still think Jeremy Irons is the better Alfred.
agree.
though, but
I would.
Okay.
I would agree with that take. So.
Andor. I swear.
but Andor.
Alright.
Andor. I was okay on the show like prior to like I wasn't really hating it, but if it wasn't
Mhm.
Star Wars, I wouldn't be watching the show. So,
Yeah.
but like prior to
Well, it's
that,
interesting you say that because it is written like in as like a show, and then it was like kind of turned into Star Wars. After.
yeah,
That's interesting. You say that.
because like
Makes me think.
I
don't know.
don't really get into like spy shows. I think they're kind of.
Can I ask what some of your favorite shows are besides Star Wars stuff?
Oh, like any sitcoms. I want a Star Wars sitcom. That's what I want. But
Star Wars. Okay.
but
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of like kind of like not. It's not really a mystery, but it's just like a very slow burn of a show. And I was like,
Sure.
"All right, let's get to the point already. Let's get
Okay.
to this Andor doing some rebelling things, and he's finally did some rebel things.
He's getting
that
there.
that he had to do. I'm
He's
still
re-
I'm kind
he
of
rebelled
upset
against
that
that
he
fight.
just I'm upset he didn't just go Kino jump on my back. I'll swim you to shore. So no,
I
Kino.
know. I thought that too, but
I was like,
in concept that makes sense, but I think
don't
in
think that would
when
work.
it's when it's when
yeah, I
it's
don't
when,
think
it,
that
when
would
it,
work.
it's in reality. It's kind of hard to
I love our
swim,
boy-
'Cause I'll be honest,
keep you up, and
This
also
show
carry someone
affected
else.
me so much. This show affected me so much that I was imagining in my head as I watched it last night. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, if I didn't know how to swim, hypothetically, if I jumped in the water, because I wanted Kino to live so bad, I wanted to get.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what would that be like?
Everybody
And I ran through all the scenarios of like trying to like flail around and figure out how to swim. I was like, could I do it? Could I do it? And I came to the conclusion that I think if you really didn't know how to swim, even though it's like easy, you would
Mhm.
probably just drown and die. If you just really
Yeah.
didn't know,
I mean,
you'd be screwed.
I mean
Like,
that,
I don't think you
that
could
does
learn.
happen all the time.
I know.
People
It's like
drown all the
I
time.
just like
That is the
under
thing that
much
happens.
stress- No, I know, but
But-
I'm trying to think like
yeah.
Kino in the high stress situation because I just wanted him to live so
Yeah.
bad. I was like
Yeah.
grasping
There-
at straws. Like maybe he could do it. Maybe he could do it.
There's no way unless
It's
like
done.
Just
'cause,
grabs
like,
up anything that
yeah,
floats.
I mean when you're drowning, you're like flailing. And that's why they tell you that like if you don't know how to swim, you just kind of stand still and then somebody will rescue you. So he would have jumped in that water and he would have been doing like all this and nobody could have really saved him because he would have been trying to push down the other guy. So
tragic.
yeah, I mean,
Tough.
unless he climbed on the back, like I said, climb on the back of Andor. Like
I did
go,
think that
let's
they
do
were gonna
this.
like kind of like Andor was gonna grab a few guys to try to help him and bring him to
He got
shore,
pushed.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
don't know.
Andor did get like shoved
The
in.
real question.
that is the question of the day. Friend of the we need to establish what is John Campia thinking about right now? What does he think?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Not even about Andor. Not even about Andor. What is he thinking about?
John.
What's he
what is
thinking?
John Campion?
Just-
I don't know.
He's just thinking.
Friend of the show, John
He's thinking,
Campia.
about, he's thinking about AMC movie.
I don't know what John Campia thinks about. I don't know. These are the questions. But
These are the questions.
thank you, Carter. Sorry, we need a little Carter break every now and then. So
It's true.
it's true.
Knowing
Well,
the
well,
Star Wars universe and the creatures that live in the water, I wouldn't want to jump in the water. Like,
Oh my god, yeah.
True.
It's fair.
you know that there's
True.
some man eaters in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Cuba fish.
I mean,
Right.
Ham over there. He's just like, we gotta swim. Let's go. Like, I still can't believe there's a dude named Ham in the show.
Who
though.
is Cassian
Damn.
running with at the end?
He
there?
was,
Who-
Melshi.
he was hanging out with
Melshi.
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 oh, which one's that?
He's the one in Rogue One.
He's yeah.
One of the
He's
so
the-
the guy,
He's the
one of
only
the guys
one
at the
like really
table-
listening to
he's
Andor.
So yeah, Mike, one of the guys at that table, Ruscott Melshi, is one of the commanders in Rogue One who is with the Rogue One team on the beach. He's
Okay.
he's in he's the guy who walks in and goes, Halleck, Liana Halleck, when he gets Jin on when they save Jin. He's also the guy who like goes out to get the switch when he's like,
Got it.
what switch? Like the master switch. Like
Yeah,
that's
he's like-
Melshi.
The first one to die in that group.
Got
Yeah.
it.
To get the switch.
Yeah.
Which now is kind of tragic because like
It's sad.
Melshi's like, I'm like, oh man. And the last episode, he was like when Andor was shouting, nobody's listening. He was the only one like really listening.
Yeah.
And so
we knew.
it makes sense that like once however far the shore was, that he's the one that joined.
Yeah, I love cameos like that where it makes sense for them because it's
Yeah.
like an
And
obscure.
it's not like a big reveal. It's just like, oh, he's
It's just
there.
Melshi. It's Melshi.
There he is.
'Cause He's
Melshi.
there in
Yeah.
Rogue One. Like, why not? Why wouldn't they be together? Well,
Mhm.
Chad, while we got you here, there has been
Yeah.
some other Star Wars news because clearly you think Andor's kind of trash. How do you feel about the Acolyte, which has its whole cast released as well as the first set photo?
And Mike, I
officially
want to hear your
released?
thoughts on it too. But yeah.
I do wish more shows would do that. Like I
well,
understand,
what specifically?
like dude,
List the
like
whole
hey, like
cast.
here's the people in our show, kind of a
Okay.
thing.
Did that for Kenobi?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kenobi was the
they did
first
for
one,
Kenobi.
I
Kind of
didn't
wish
know
they did
Carrie
do
Ann
it
Moss.
for-
I thought that was a
know.
real surprise.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
Pretty
know Carrie Ann
interesting.
Moss. Did we know that she was going to be in it, or was
Nope.
that
Nope.
a surprise?
We
Okay.
did
No.
not. That was
That was a
announced
pleasant
on that
surprise,
casting
man.
list. Yeah.
Especially since I feel like Trinity hasn't done much really else recently.
She was
other-
in the recent
in
Matrix,
Memento.
right?
Well, I mean, as I meant,
Yeah.
like other than Matrix, I just feel like I like
Memento.
her.
She's in Jessica Jones.
But anyway, I can
So-
totally see
anyways.
her as like a dark.
Yeah,
side.
Sith Lord.
Sith,
know,
I
right?
can see her as a Sith,
Sith,
easy,
Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would be badass. Yeah.
yeah.
Especially because she's older now, that she'd be in the like the mentor position. I
Mhm.
love.
Yep.
She'd be the one teaching the apprentice or whatever.
Yeah,
or
did you guys get a chance to read the little plot summary?
No, I didn't get a chance
No.
to.
Oh, really? Oh,
Wanna
here,
read
let
it
me.
through, Levi?
Yeah, let me.
No, my when I'm at work, I can't open up links on Twitter.
A lot of the actually, come to think of it, like a lot of that cast looks young. It looks like mostly young people, which makes you think that those are all going to be like badass warrior characters.
Yeah.
Oh, here, allow
Isn't
me.
it-
Yeah, allow me to read a little blurb.
Well,
The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated.
Mm.
Let's
It's
go.
a mystery, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't know that, Johnny? You didn't hear that yet?
like a
No, I've
murder
heard that.
mystery.
Oh, okay,
I've heard
okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little crime, like I love the idea of a Padawan reuniting. with their
Padawan
master.
reuniting with their master to investigate
Yeah.
dark side crimes. Dope.
So she must
I'm in.
be like a knight, or like either she left the order.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
either a
left the
knight
order.
or a left the order.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that would be
Yeah.
interesting. Left the order. Yeah.
But
I don't
just the
know.
whole investigating.
I don't know.
crimes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
I
it
mean,
though.
like,
I'm so
I like
in.
that.
So in.
Jedi investigators. That's isn't there a comic in the High Republic?
Trail of Shadows.
That's the one. I knew you would know.
Haven't read it.
Haven't read it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
If you say so.
Yeah, but very exciting. I'm very excited for
Yeah,
it.
it sounds
Yeah,
pretty
good.
good. I was hype on Andor before the show started, and then it didn't sell me until
You were hype on Andor, then when you watched it, it brought you down?
yeah.
All right, get Chad out.
What?
Get this time.
Chad. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we do have someone else in here, so I think we'll.
That's
we'll-
fine.
we'll-
I was
we'll
gonna go
switch
back
out.
play Halo anyway.
Go back to Halo. Hope you have fun.
will.
Chad BTI everywhere.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on. We'll hope to talk
Catch
to you
you guys.
soon. With
Catch you guys.
hopefully you'll like next week's episode. I hope you do, but we'll see.
Hopefully, maybe.
Maybe.
see. Maybe. All right,
Later,
Chad. We'll
guys.
see you, buddy.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
See you, Chad.
All right, next we have another friend of the show, Michael times
Dime.
dollar. How you doing, buddy? How you
With
doing?
you.
Doing good. What about you?
Doing well. Doing well. Yeah.
Man,
I'm on Andor high. I actually just
Yeah.
watched a few hours ago too, so that's why.
Well, what, you watched Rogue One a few hours ago?
No, Andor.
Oh,
This
okay,
up.
okay,
This
yeah,
up.
yeah, same.
It's fresh in my mind. Fresh in my mind.
I've been planning since the beginning of when the show came out to rewatch Rogue One after the show comes out. I know a lot of people watch it before, but I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna hit different.
I mean,
once-
It takes
once I
place
finish
after,
that
yeah.
season.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think it will too.
Yeah. and
But
for
what did you
real,
think about the yeah?
The true fan wouldn't have seen Rogue One at all and would wait until seasons 1 and 2 are out and then watch Rogue One as soon
Yeah.
as they know the show. That's the real.
that's
That was,
that's
Rogue One is season 3 of Andor.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the El Camino to the Breaking Bad. That type. Of
Right.
it is. It
Right,
is.
It is.
Wow, good
In a
call.
way, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But,
So I want to say this is my favorite episode, but it's close between this one and episode 6.
mhm.
I don't know if like I'm just recency bias. I want to choose this one, or if it's actually
Good.
better,
It's a
but
good one.
They're both.
I don't blame
they're
you.
both so good. They're both. So
It's
good.
Chad's favorite episode, but he's got bad takes, so I'm kidding.
Chad,
but-
get out of here! Get out of here, Chad.
But no,
I
I
the two-part finale though,
popping
that's
too.
gonna be so epic.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like I
so-
feel like I think one of my only issues with the show, it's not really a real issue, is kind of how you're almost anticipating like that third episode of each arc. And with the two-part finale, I think it's just going to be a banger through and through.
Yeah,
and
I think
and I'm
it'll
not
be.
saying like those slower episodes aren't bangers, because they are. It's just like, and they're necessary setup to like to these epic episodes like 6 and 10.
Mhm.
So
Yep. Definitely
And
agree.
7, quite frankly. I think 7 was also.
oh, 7 was actually 7 was really cool. That was like a standalone episode kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It was a bridge between the two arcs, between Aldani and then Narkina.
I mean, is it a question at this point? This is by far the best Star Wars show.
For
I
me,
personally think so.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I
Yeah.
think Mike, you do too, but yeah.
Well,
no,
honestly, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I'm also including animated shows in that.
Well, I think
Yeah,
that
I
is.
have
I
to think
think,
about it a little bit more.
yeah,
Well,
I think that
mean,
is.
I don't
It's
know.
not-
Like,
I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah.
But
just
it's
think
something I
this
had
is
to
one of
think
the
about.
best, like stories we've seen so far in Star Wars.
They have all been bangers, so I don't.
It's different, but it's
I'm not
just-
gonna say you got a bad take there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I don't know. It's
They take.
right up my alley. I prefer these like slower, more dialogue heavy shows because
Mhm.
like it really if you can make a show like Andor where most of the screen time is just two people having a conversation.
And it's good.
Yeah, and it's just like gripping and it's really really good and you can't take your eyes off the screen. To me, like that's just like television does not get better than that. I mean,
Mhm.
and then you can sprinkle on like
Just here's Chad's
episodes
response.
like Today and the Heist. And now Clone Wars and Rebels are better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge Rebels fan and obviously Clone Wars, but no, I think this takes the cake for
Now,
me.
next season when we have the Rebels crew in Andor, then
Yeah.
it'll be.
Then I think it'll be peak.
That'll
Then it will be
That's gonna be so cool. Seeing Ezra in live action.
Well, that why I don't think they'll do because I think they're saving that for Ahsoka. I think they'll
Oh, that's
probably.
But
I think-
Ahsoka will be
Because
first.
they don't want to
though.
recast the actor as someone younger than the guy that. they
Oh,
already
that's true
casted.
though.
Yeah,
That's
Ahsoka
true.
will be
Ahsoka
first
come
and
out
then
first.
Andor.
So maybe you're
Yeah.
right. Maybe
I
in my head,
I
in my
think-
in the way it's been in my head, you'll just see a cameo of like Hera and like Zeb or something.
I think we
Yeah.
could see all of them. There is a chance. There's a
I'm
chance.
not gonna lie. I'm kind of
But-
worried of how Zeb is gonna look in live action.
I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll
They
figure it out.
gotta address the whole
He
We
did
Jason.
better.
don't- we
I
don't
think
know
we'll
if
figure it
he's-
out. I don't know.
We don't know if he's in Ahsoka or not. I mean, because obviously at the end of Rebels he's kind of doing his own thing, but he may be.
I
And who
thought
knows?
about it
but-
is I don't think he's gonna be in Ahsoka. It's kind of like the whole Hulk and Thor not being in Civil War type thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just
Mhm.
kind of how I've always thought about it.
I think you're right, probably.
Because he's more of like a wonky character. Even though I mean I love Zeb, but I don't know. I think if you want to focus on Ahsoka and have more of a live action like serious tone,
Mhm.
I just feel like they're not gonna put Zeb in there. But who knows?
That's why I feel like it would just be like a cameo of like they have the big, like they just have like a I don't know. It's like Hera, like you see, because in Rebels, it always seemed like it was Hera who was the most involved with the other cells
With
of the
the-
rebellion.
yeah.
Like it was always
Yeah.
her going to do stuff. So I feel like it's almost a lock.
I
Like, you
think
see her name.
Hera
you see
is
the
a
ghost-
no-brainer.
You see
Yeah.
the ghost in Rogue One
And
you know,
Chopper.
They say her name
And
in Rogue
they
One.
say her
They say
name.
General Syndulla.
General
Yeah, yeah.
Syndulla.
I still think it's so cool that we got to see the ghost in Rogue One. That was
Like,
such a cool detail.
Chopper's in the
Chopper,
background too.
he-
Yeah.
In the foreground, he rolls right in front
Or
of the screen.
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. How did I
Yeah.
not know that?
Yeah, Chopper's
In Rogue
man.
One.
Like,
That's
there's
crazy.
Yeah, they built a
Yeah,
live
yeah.
action Chopper.
I have to
before
go.
the
I have
one
to
they
go
made
back
for
and,
Ahsoka.
and see that. That's actually.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
there's
and
some
they-
rebels
he
in
even
there.
and he even has like the wah, wah, wah noise
Yeah.
you can hear. Like,
Oh, that's so sick.
It's when
honestly-
Love Rogue One.
You know how they have that random like droid story or something show that's coming out.
yeah, droid story.
Yeah, Droid Story.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That
The
should
animated
just
one.
be about Chopper. Nobody. Well, we don't need a C-3PO. to.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be C-3PO, but
I feel
We
like, I
need
feel like
Chopper. We need just like a montage of Chopper just like killing stormtroopers.
do we think that's like ever coming out?
I mean,
maybe
it's
one
still
day.
like a tech demo, so probably.
I think it's gonna be like they're gonna announce it like 2 weeks before it comes out, and then be like, here you guys go.
I mean, Anthony Daniels like did the work for it. Like,
Yeah.
I know that. Like, he was in the mocap suit.
It's
and
in
he got
development,
to,
so
like,
I mean,
I don't know.
It's just like a tech demo, so I mean, no, they're going to release it. It's just not like.
Well, no, it was
something-
announced. It was pitched as like a short, as like a movie, like
Yeah.
how like the Marvel one shots are. Like,
I don't know.
like,
Don't you think it's gonna be some kind of tech demo to just see
no,
how
bro,
they
they
can put
they
it
wouldn't
together?
they wouldn't have announced a tech demo at the
No.
investor day. Like, here's our
Okay, that's
shows.
true. Yeah.
No, it's like it's gonna be like.
And they
like a
said it.
short.
They said it was
Like
like a yeah. What are they called? What are the specials? Marvel specials?
Wait, is it
Yeah,
gonna be live
Marvel's-
action then, or no?
No, it's
yeah.
animated.
No.
Oh, okay, then never
No,
mind.
it is live action. It's
It is
meant
live.
to be-
Okay, that's what I was saying. It's kind of like a tech demo. It's like-
Well, it's like a blend. They announced it.
Yeah.
It's ILM and the droid people like trying to make a story and like it's meant. It's I don't know.
Oh,
It's
we-
confusing. We don't know
It's
because
confusing.
they haven't said anything about it.
we
It's
need-
true,
we
in a
need to see
while.
Walker the musical. That's what I'm talking about.
Rogers the musical.
Rogers the musical. But what was your favorite part of the ep?
I can't swim.
Mhm.
I know. Tragic. Hurt.
I did not. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just. I probably
After all
should have
that-
expected something like that to happen because I knew somehow they were gonna get rid of Andy Serkis by the next episode, but
Yeah.
that was just tragic. And the fact that Andor just jumps off and because he doesn't hear
Well, that's the thing, he gets
Andy
pushed.
Serkis.
It gets.
And
accidentally
it's just so
killed.
tragic. And like I love that scene of just Andor running at the end. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it. It's triumphant, but
It
then
is.
again,
It
it's-
is. Like
also
we're supposed
sad.
to be happy for Andor, but we don't care because of what happened to Andy Serkis's character.
Yeah. It's very
Um,
sad, tragic.
It also
I-
looked like there was a little bit of a like because Star Wars does the twin suns thing on Tatooine. There was a little bit of a twin
definitely.
moon, twin moons at the end there. Did you see
Yep.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, also
that
the
was
whole.
cool.
I mean, Luthen's whole. I'm fighting for a sunrise I'll never see. Is it's the sunrise that Luth looks
binary
at.
sunset, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the binary. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
like, damn.
Damn.
Luthen
I'm
and
saying.
Mon Mothma add such a like dynamic like aspect to this show that I think was really smart because you could have easily made this show only about Andor,
Mhm.
but I think that's where people's complaints about the show being too slow would have been more valid, because like you're only focusing on that one character, and you're not
Mhm.
switching it up with these other really interesting characters like Mon Mothma and Luthen, and they really add like the more political aspect to the show.
Yeah, which I
And-
think is a very necessary one too.
Oh,
for this
definitely,
show,
and it's
so.
so cool. Like, it's so cool that we are finally exploring that in Star Wars.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Michael, you got good takes.
Thanks.
Well,
you have
sometimes.
awful MCU takes.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I
Yeah.
don't know. Actually,
Hey, no, I think he agrees with me for the most part. You guys
Well,
had
yeah, I agree
weird-
with you on like on your top ones, like Winter Soldier, Civil War. Those are my top 2 MCU movies. But that Shang-Chi slander, I can't have it. I'm leaving the call right now.
All right. Hey,
Well, anyways, I think we're gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap in a minute here, anyways. But thank you for coming on, Mike. We
Thanks for
always
having me,
love
guys.
talking to you. But
we do.
we'll hopefully it'll be another banger of an app next week, and hope to talk to you
There
then.
will be, for sure.
All right,
then.
see you, buddy. See ya.
What do
All
you
right,
think-
guys.
I was gonna say, what do you think are the chances that a Davos Gulden's 14-year-old son is gross and unappealing, and that Mon
Oh,
Mothma's daughter,
yeah, he comes in. He's like this. Yeah.
it's gonna be like even more like her
Yeah,
daughter's
I don't-
gonna have even more of a reson to hate her.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
think we'll see. Well,
But yeah.
I think we covered it. Thank you guys
think
so
we
much
did.
for watching. If you're watching on the VOD, thank you for making it this far. Thank you, Mike, for coming in on sort of last notice, and the fact that you have COVID and still here. Thank
Look
you.
at him. He's a trooper.
Yeah,
Trooper, a true trooper.
Mhm.
Yeah, Johnny, is there anything else to say? One way out.
One way out. One,
One
way.
way
So we'll exit out and do our chant here.
Okay.
One way out.
Out.
One
way out.